beautiful YouTube family. Lisa A. Romano here, the Breakthrough Life Coach, and today we're going to be talking about the vibration of lack and how the vibration of lack coincides with being a codependent. But the first thing that I want to do is I want to say thank you so much to our sister Marie, who made me this amazing bracelet, and it says warrior. She sees me as a warrior of light, which I'm down with that. That's kind of cool. And Marie actually has her own business, and she creates these. And, you know, Marie is very, she's a kindred spirit of mine because she's a single mom. And she's, you know, doing the best to support herself. And I was a single mom for 14 years, and I supported my children without any alimony. And it wasn't easy. And this is one of the things that Marie actually does to help support herself and her children. Not looking for a handout, trying to, you know, create beautiful things in exchange for, you know, money so that she can take care of her kids. That's the way the world works, you know what I'm saying? So here's a keychain that she made me, and it says Namaste, which I'm in love with. Forget it. I'm going to wear this very, very proudly. And so if anyone wants to know about, you know, Marie and the kind of beautiful, unique gifts that she creates, you can actually look up Stardust Endeavors, and you can email me privately. I can send you her information. The reason I want to, and she's also in the Google Plus community. She's very active. She's awesome. And the reason I wanted to use Marie's bracelets and the gift that she gave me as an intro, because it speaks to what I want to talk about today, which is the vibration of lack. So we all have to face that. I coach people from all walks of life. I coach CEOs, I coach lawyers, I coach psychologists, I coach teachers, I coach single moms, I coach couples. You know the deal, dear ones. I'm not bragging, but what I'm trying to do is help you understand that we're all the same, and we all struggle with the same types of issues. All of us. I don't care where you come from. I don't care what language you speak. If you were raised by people who made you feel invisible, if you were raised by people who made you feel like your basic needs, that you weren't worthy of your basic needs, then you have the vibration, or could possibly be living in a vibration of lack. And that affects everything. There was a time in my life where I would look at other people and think, oh, well, she has that car because she's more worthy than I am. You know, she has that relationship because there must be something right with her and something wrong with me. I could never have that relationship. You know, oh, wow, that's a beautiful house, but only a particular kind of a person lives in that kind of a house. I could never have that kind of a house. She has a dream job, but, you know, there's no way I could have my dream job, or, you know, I can make that kind of money, because there must be something special about her and something wrong with me. And until someone helps you see that that's a symptom of codependency, and I'll tell you why. Because when you're codependent, you don't think you're worthy. And when you're codependent, that means that you're abused. Because people, adult children who feel worthy, have gotten the message in childhood that they are worthy. So adult children from, I don't care where you come from, what kind of dysfunction you experience, whether it's alcoholism, a drug addiction, or schizophrenia in your home, whether it was just being ignored, whether it was everything looked fine, but everything felt effed up. You know, everything looked fine, but mommy and daddy don't talk to one another. It's just pass the cheese, pass the butter. Daddy goes to work at 5 and he's home by 3. Mommy's a school teacher, and dinner's on the table, but no one's talking. We're not relating. Human beings need to relate. We came to this world to relate. We're human beings. We're supposed to be able to relate to one another and talk to one another and feel connected to one another. It's what makes us human beings. It's what separates us from the animal kingdom and the plant kingdom. And I think that trees probably communicate with one another. We just don't know it. But it's what separates us from everything else. We are here as human beings to connect. And so when we are in families where we're unable to connect, we feel off. That's not our fault. That's not our fault. That was done to us. When you're in a family that ignores you, what is the message? Remember, we don't just communicate with words. As a matter of fact, I think words are bullshit, because what we're really communicating is on the emotional realm. And unfortunately, in our English language, we don't have a word to say, you know, to clarify our emotional body or our vibrational body. And as a matter of fact, if you talk to a doctor and you said, you know, my emotional field is very heavy and very dense, he'd look at you like you were bananas, because most doctors just want to look at brain scans, and they want to look at, EEGs, and they want to look at EKGs, and they want to look at blood results. They want to look at the concrete stuff, but the concrete stuff is being affected by the non-physical stuff, the vibrational stuff. And we know, and science has proven, that the way we think and the way we feel affects our genes, and it affects the neurons in our brain, and affects every cell in our being. Biogenetics, which is a new frontier in science, is proving that the way we think and the way we feel affects even our genes, dear one. So, when you're at a doctor's office, they're looking at results, but you have to be so smart that you understand that whatever that EKG says or that EEG says, whatever that blood test says, it's the result of something that's non-physical. And you have to be very smart and figure out what the root cause of those results are, because the doctor's just going to look for a way to treat the symptom. And I talk about this in my coaching program. So now, I wanted to address the spirit of lack, because so many of us that are codependent come from homes where the message was, we're not worthy, we're not worthy. And until we make that conscious, until we say, oh, I don't go for that job because I don't think I'm worthy. I don't ask for a raise because I don't think I'm worthy. I don't ask for what I need because I don't think I'm worthy. I focus on making other people great because I'm so other focused. Maybe because I'm still looking for a sense of validation outside of myself. Maybe I'm afraid of success. Maybe I'm afraid of letting go. Maybe I've had to struggle with this in my own life. If I go for it, if I write my book, which took me 12 years to write, by the way, and all these ideas in my head, but what if people don't like it? What if they publicly humiliate it? What if my family turns away from me? All of these fears kept me on the codependent couch in my skull. But life is off the couch and outside the skull. Life is out there. It's out there. Now I'm like more. But I remember what it was like to be trapped by the pain versus pleasure principle. And don't you know, dear one, there were people who had crap to say about my book. And it did. When it first happened, I took a hit. I really did. And it was hurtful. And I got the phone call from my daughter saying, Mom, Uncle so-and-so, my brother, says he wants nothing to do with you anymore. Like, your family's done with you. And I was crushed. And I did feel abandoned. All of those things did happen. But you know what? What happened is, once I confronted the fear and the fear became real, my brain went to work for me like, okay, done. That fear's done. What's next? Now I don't have to worry about that crap anymore. It already happened. It was like, okay. And I became like, whoosh, just forward. Having the fear actually happen put my brain into a different mode. It was like, okay, now it's gone. It wasn't holding me back anymore. It was just fabulous. So really, having the fear and having it actually happen was actually worked to my benefit. I feared getting a divorce. It worked to my benefit. The man that I'm married to now, Anthony, I love him so much. When his life fell apart, it was his worst fear that came through. But when the fear happened, his brain was like, okay, good. That cage was open. He was no longer trapped by the fear of it. So that's why so many people that I've coached that have gotten such terrible news, this is terminal illness, it was like, okay, I always feared this was going to happen. And now that it's happened, it doesn't control me anymore. Because now I'm like, next, okay, what can I do now? Next. It's amazing what happens when you confront the fear. When we're dealing with lack, okay, first of all, you have to acknowledge it. That if you're living in a vibration of lack, it's going to affect everything. Your relationships are going to suck. You're going to attract men and women that don't make you feel like you're enough. They're going to make you feel like you're not deserving of what you're actually asking for. You will stay stuck in financial situations. You won't go for it because your vibration is one of lack. Why? Because you don't feel like you're worthy of what you're asking for. So you came here to create and to just experience abundance. It's the only thing that makes sense. Now, When your focus is on lack and I can't and I'm not worthy, you will experience that in real time. The universe doesn't judge your thought. The universe is indifferent. So when my position was, I can't do that, I can't do that, the universe said, okay, you can't do that. My brain said, okay, you can't do that. So even though my 5%, my will was saying, boy, I'd really like to write that book, I'd really like to be an author, I'd really like to spend my life inspiring people, the 95% of me, my program was saying, you can't do that. Who do you think you are? All the programs from the past. When I started to, and you guys know, I'm not religious. I actually don't believe in religion. I think it separates us. I really do. We are human beings. And our path, in my opinion, is to come here and to recognize the light that's within us. And anything that goes against the light, against abundance, against heaven on earth, in my opinion, is Satan. I don't believe Satan's some big scary monster with horns on his head. I believe if you study what the word Satan means, it really means in opposition to God. It's really, the people that wrote the Bible, in my opinion, knew that we were going to need images and visuals to help us understand very complex situations, very complex ideas. So when you think about Satan as an opposition to God or an opposition to the light, that's darkness. So an unconscious program you can consider as like a self-doubt, or it's of Satan, it's of the dark. So because it's in the subconscious mind, it's in the dark, you haven't brought it into the light yet, but once you bring the subconscious programming, like the vibration of lack, into the light, that's when you have the opportunity to heal it and say, oh my God, it's a vibration that I'm living in. And it's because I was attuned to that vibration because of my experience as being the child of these people who lived in a vibration of lack. So those of us who were born in the 60s and the 50s, our parents came out of a very negative space and time. My grandparents lived through the Depression, where there were breadlines. And they had my parents my grandfather was in the World War II. And my mother had to deal with the bomb raids, and my dad had to deal with the bomb raid drills in school. So you're talking about a lack vibration, a fear vibration. In terms of my mother's ovaries, there I was, my sister, my brother, we're these little eggs inside her ovaries, and we're being downloaded, impressed upon by these vibrations of her being. And then the counterpart, the male that created me, was also of a lack and a fear-based mentality. So these two vibrational beings came together and created me. So of course, as I entered into this experience, I was not going to be Susie Sunshine and more, and I want to do this and I want to do that. No, that's not, it just can't happen. Our job is to transcend those negative energies while we're here and to remember that we are the light. So now, dear ones, I would like to suggest that please join my Google Plus community. It's adult children of alcoholics, codependents, and empaths. What I would like to do is start supporting us as light workers and as people on this path together. I would love for you to join this community and start posting what it is that you do if you feel so inclined. I would love for those of you who are looking for unique gifts, possibly for Mother's Day, to support this light worker, Marie, who's doing the best that she can to support her 5 children. And she's probably perhaps, I don't know, I hope, Marie, don't be pissed at me. I'm just trying to help you out, girl. We've got to support one another in love and light. It is just so wonderful to take someone who is living in the darkness, who doesn't feel worthy, who is struggling to take care of her children, who has been raised by narcissists, who struggles and battles with, am I worthy, am I enough? And help them and bring them into the light, the idea that they are worthy of abundance. We all are, dear ones. But we really have to believe that. And until we understand that the physical world is a manifestation of energy, and money is just energy, abundance is just energy. So for those of you who are struggling financially right now, I want you to ask yourselves, do you struggle with feeling like you're worthy of abundance? Do you have the types of ideas that I used to have, like, oh, only certain people live in that house, or only certain people can have, that job, or, oh, rich people, they're nasty people. See, if you feel like rich people are nasty people, then there's cognitive dissonance. Here on one level, you might be wanting to experience abundance, but if the brain is saying, well, rich people are nasty, it's going to be very difficult for you to marry. your heart and your mind. We have to integrate. What do you really feel about people who make nice incomes? And if you struggle with, people who make money, then you will struggle to make money. And then you will think that you will believe what your brain says, oh, life is hard, or it's so hard, it's so hard. That is backwards justification, which is really your brain is just trying to find a way to justify and rationalize your cognitive dissonance. So be careful with your words when your brain is listening to everything you say. So if you say things like, oh, it's so hard, it's so hard, life is so hard, life is so hard, it's hard to make money, it's hard to make money. It's going to be hard for you to make money. It really is. If you start focusing on, take your energy and focus it on what you're doing now. If you are a secretary, go and be the best secretary you can be. Just focus on the abundance of being in a job and creating money. And I'm telling you, before you know it, you'll have a raise or another position will be offered to you. If you wash cars for a living, if you're a waitress, go to work with a happy smile on your face. Do everything better than you did it the day before. That's abundance, the feeling of abundance. Like, just put more into whatever job that you have now. Do it with a happy heart. And watch, you're going to tap into the stream of abundance. If you go to work, I hate my job, that's a lack vibration. And so it's really hard for you to tune yourself up to love and abundance. If I hate my job, I hate my job. If you hate your job, find something to love about your job. Don't quit your day job. Find something to love about your job. Give this job, even if you don't like it, the best that you can be. Tap into the abundance of that. And then in your home time or your free time, start building a website. Maybe you like to make birdhouses. I love birdhouses. I search the internet for birdhouses because I raise birds. I have found the most beautiful birdhouses by people who love to make birdhouses, and they're making a living making birdhouses because they tapped into the love that they had for making birdhouses. So now people who love their birdhouses are attracted to them. So if you have a passion, begin working and building on that passion and sow energy into that passion. That's how I got started. I had a little bit of, I just launched my coaching program, and in the past few days, I've had family members and friends say, oh boy, you're so lucky. And I had to control the anger that began to rise up in me because I'm thinking to myself, are you effing serious? For 20 years, I have been researching. While everybody was out partying, I was one saying, girls, I got to go home. I got to wake up and start, I have to write another chapter of my book at 2:30 in the morning. And I was taking care of 3 kids. And I was cleaning other people's toilet bowls. And I had a 3rd job selling tents, okay? I had 3 jobs to keep myself afloat. And I got no alimony from my ex-husband because I would have chewed my arm off to get the hell away from him. So I got so annoyed because all they see is the effect. They don't see the cause. They don't see how hard that I've worked, and the amount of energy that I put into my YouTube videos and my channel. And you guys know, if you go back to my early videos, you'll see that I was very reserved. And all I want to do is share information. Now you're just seeing someone who's confident in who she is, which is awesome. And I really hope that you guys go back and you see my evolution, because that's a soul's evolution. It's no different than your evolution. But there's nothing, luck has nothing to do with where I am today. I have worked it. I have dedicated myself to being a student of the universe. And I am in alignment with how this universe works. So I had to hold myself accountable for when I was thinking negatively of the child of God that I am. And when I stopped, child of God meaning creator, source, whatever you want to call it, I don't really care. But whoever created the trees, the stars, and the moon created me and created you. So when I took accountability for the program or the Satan or the darkness that was in my subconscious mind, trying to diminish the light that was in me, I had to take accountability for that. My life began to change. So I was not changed externally. The change happened inside of me. And dear ones, I live to inspire you because I want you to experience the kinds of things that I'm experiencing now. Whatever I have, I want you to have tenfold. I really mean that. But we all need people to show us the way. And I'm so honored to be your guide. So getting back to Miss Marie, we're going to try to show Marie what it's like to experience abundance because she's worth it. So if any of you are interested in Mother's Day gifts or gifts for your friends, gifts for your kids' teachers, or just gifts for yourself, Marie can actually put any message that you want on this beautiful band, and it says warrior. I just love that because that's the way she sees me, and I just love that. And this keychain is just awesome. So if you know someone who's into yoga, this says namaste. I mean, it's endless what she can do for you, and we could all take part in really helping one another feel loved. And I'll tell you what, if you order something if you give an order to Marie, I want to send you something. I have wristbands. I don't have them available right now at my desk, and I don't want to stop the video to go get it. But I actually have wristbands that I made up that's called It's Not You, It's Your Program. And I will graciously send you one of my wristbands if you help support Miss Marie. So look us up. Please take part in our Google Plus community, Adult Children of Alcoholics for Codependents and Empaths. And I, as the administrator, will allow you into the community and replay this message so that you understand how the lack vibration may be affecting you and preventing you from experiencing the abundance that is your birthright. Namaste, dear ones. I bow to the love and the light that is absolutely in you. And I really hope that every time I bring you a video, you get closer to finding the light that's within you. I love you. Namaste. Bye.